instantly, those type of inflammations, you have to manage the legs for a number of weeks. Instantly, those inflammations will go away. If you apply it, immediately you get accident, and you apply it, the following day you can go on with your boxing activity. You also have other things, at least, like abdominal cream. People will go into the floor to run, put on physique. They may have to go into the coastal areas around the sea, the shore of the sea, so that they run in the shore. We have to take cognizance of the fact that the bacteria are on the ground. They can find our way through our skin, and when they find the way through the skin to disease or sickness will build up. When disease or sickness build up, it will have an effect on the boxing or the boxers' willpower to fight, or maybe it may be called to stop the boxing because the skin or whatever is having, it's a contact sport. And once it's a contact sport, it may have an effect on the other boxer. These boxers, this product, and this is the current, then those things are like the best, so you have your natural skin, and you don't have any other reaction. But hospital is there, the plan was fine. We have much cooperation with the boxing fraternity, so that things, if we can do in common, it can be well accepted to them. We hope this activity goes on smoothly and brings an image to the entire boxing fraternity in Ghana as a whole. Thank you.
I think we can do better than that. Thank you once again. Now to the bout card. The announcement of the headline bout by Mr. Isaac Amankwa, General Manager, 8 Power Promotions.
Thank you very much.
I think that we should have probably give the honors to Mr. Captain, but I will mention the headline bout briefly because he is the president of the VBO Africa, so it's better. Sorry, I hear I was not being heard, unfortunately. Good morning. I was thinking probably Mr. Captain would have do us the honors by announcing the headline bout. But I'll quickly do that and then hand over the mic to him to say a few words about our headline bout. Ace Power Promotions, before I say anything, before I announce anything, I want to thank a few things. You know, Ace Power has been this boxing business for the past 7 years. We have been very, very active the past 4 years because we have been doing a lot of promotions. And there have been a lot of men, women, people behind the scenes who have been doing all this to make sure the things we produce happens. And I want to especially thank Dr. Ade Amwakun and his wife, Cecilia Amwakun in the United States. Thank you for all that you do. We are grateful for the fact that you have decided that you will put your resources and all that you have into Ghana boxing and try and unearth some talents, try and bring some young people who want to exhibit their talent and who wants to go far when it comes to boxing. We are so grateful and we thank you. I also want to thank the X Power executives, Mr. Kizito Absudabu, Mr. Daniel Pim, and all the other people who have been helping us to get or who have helped us to bring ACE to where it is. Without much ado, let me announce our headline bout. Our headline bout is a big one because Joshua Oluwaseun Waha, whom James spoke to about briefly, is a boxer who does not need an introduction. I mean, he has been in this for quite a long time. And he's a boxer with a lot of honors. Honors means he has won a lot of titles from 2015, coming up to 2018, he has won a number of titles, from the Ghana super featherweight title to the IBF featherweight title, which he won in Lagos, in Nigeria, right to the WBA Pan-African title. This is a guy who boxing analysts and connoisseurs think that is the next, one of the next big things to happen to Ghana boxing, who probably will bring a title. In fact, Ghana, we are claiming him, even though he's from Nigeria. He has lived all his life here, James. So we are necessarily claiming him. And if he wins a title, of course, we also take some of the glory. So Joshua is our headline bout. He will be fighting Anthony Molisani. Molisani is a South African who is a great boxer. You know, I was watching a few days ago, I was watching some of his bouts on YouTube, and I have been asking myself questions. And I now understand why a lot more times South Africans are ranked better on box rec, because you can see that the opponents that they have been fighting, because if you check their records, most of the time their records are not very far from what our Ghanaian boxers have. But you go on box rec and they have 2-star, they have 3-star, they have 4-star. If you have 3-star on box rec, it's a big deal. Why is it that they keep on having that? It's simple. It's because the opponents they always get are very, very good opponents. I mean, here mostly, the opponents our boxers get are not very, very good opponents. It's not very, very competitive. So when they are giving the points, you realize that our boxers usually don't get the points they deserve. So Joshua Oluwaseun Wahab and Anthony Molisani is our headline bout. It will be a 12-round contest. They will be fighting for the WBO African Super Featherweight title. It will be a bout that I believe will give boxing fans a lot to cheer about. And I hope that definitely, of course, we hope that Joshua wins, but it's not going to be easy. It's not like he's going to get it on a silver platter. He has to work for it, and we hope that he will win this bout. So without much ado, and without not necessarily letting abuse come again, I will hand the mic to Mr. Samuel Captain for him to say a few words.
Thank you for your introduction about the WBO fight between Wahab and Molisani. Let me correct you here. The bout is 10 rounds, not 12 rounds. Yeah. When you talk about boxers, Ghana boxers, on the box rec, when you compare their records to other, let's say South African, Tanzanian, Namibians, there's nothing to talk about the Ghana record. And as I have my good friend here, Mr. Nigwe, hoping to be the president, the upcoming president, must put his foot down, because this is some of the things I really go against during my tenure. And that's why they didn't like me, because when you said a boxer has won 15 fights, 2 losses, and you go to the record, you can see that, let's say he picked the first one that he's beaten. He lost 20 fights, won only 1. Then you said you've beaten somebody. No. You have beaten non-entity. And with the WBO, we strictly go according to box rec statistics. We go and check, I check first and send it to WBO, the headquarters. And mostly when they come, they say, I'm so strict about it. It's not me. It's not me. I'm not strict. It's the record that tells a story about a boxer. And this is what I'm happy you just mentioned. And we all Ghanaians, we want boxing in this country to be on the limelight before. Like DK Poison time, Ikotic time, Azuma time, you know. But with such thing that is happening, you tell a boxer to find somebody who's not good record, say no, I won't fight him. I'm not afraid of him though, so I won't fight him. You know, and the managers, the boxers control the managers. They are not disciplined. The boxers are not disciplined. The managers can't control the boxers because they think it's the boxers that make the managers. No. To become a manager, you have to discipline yourself and discipline your boxer. You control the boxer. You spend your resources. You also have a family, you know, to take care of. And you are taking care of somebody's child. And if the person is not listening to you, how can you get into the top? So I'm happy you mentioned this, and I'm happy Mr. Negro is here, and he's hearing it. He also go against certain things, you know. And with the press, all of them too should help and raise the standard of boxing again in this country. Now let me tackle our WBO title belt. Streetwise and his promotion applied. And the first they brought a boxer, I went through, he wasn't qualified. Though he has won his last 2 fights, he's beaten a lot of people, but when you go through, the record doesn't tell a story about that boxer. So it took them several months to get through with this Molasani. You know, when they brought him, I said, well, I want to send it to the headquarters. They approved it. And this fight is not going to be easy. You give much story about Wahab. You raise his standard up. But it's not going to be easy. Because the ring tells a story. And one punch makes the difference in the ring. You know, he can run, but this guy is a puncher. This guy has got all the accolades, he's got the tactics. You know, so if I'm talking to Ace and the Streetwise, because they are trying to bring this guy up, they have to be straight, they have to talk to him, and he shouldn't joke in the ring. You shouldn't joke, move around. You can move around, but somebody who knows boxing can catch you in the corner and go to your body, give you hook and uppercut, and will finish you. This guy is strong. Molasani is strong. So I'm appealing to both of you, Streetwise and his promotion, that you should talk to your boy. Don't take it easy because it costs a lot for you. The money you spend to get the belt, you know, this is what some people doesn't think about. It's not easy at all. It's not easy to get the belt. So if you've got it, talk to your boxer. Talk to your corner man. Because if a boxer will win, it comes from the corner. So I appeal to you to talk to your corner man. Let me make this clear. All promoters and managers who want their boxers to fight for WBO. You know, since I became the WBO representative and the president for Africa and Pacific Asia member, you could see how many fights we had in this country and how many people had the chance to go and fight for the world title. Many of them. Few won the world title. I don't want to mention names, you know. And before that, managers don't take instruction. They don't take advice. You can be a manager, you can have the whole wealth, but you need to have an advisor. You need to consult somebody who is there before. Then he can tell you. There's a boxer who went for the world title. And I saw his training. I found out that he had a punch on his ribs and he showed that he had a pain. And it's good that our doctor is here. You know, he had a pain on the ribs. And I said, no, this guy shouldn't go and fight. Another guy he had a contract to go to London to fight. I told them they shouldn't fight. But when you are building, the most good thing about WBO is that when you win this title, automatically you become number 15 in the world, unlike other bodies. Other bodies, some of the bodies, you become, if you win their title, African title, you become number 40. Yes. And you need to beat everybody in front of you. So when are you going to beat, let's say, 30 people in front of you to get to the world? By the time you beat even 20 people, you've exerted your energy. Maybe you've got some punches and you've got a problem with your body. That's why the doctor is here. And we should listen to him. I love herbs. People, my own doctor, when he prescribed, I said, oh, I heard this on the radio or TV, I went and bought it. He said, no, don't take it. Why shouldn't you take it? Even in the Bible, God said we should use the herbs, the tree, the leaves, and the root for herbs, and the fruit for food and meat. So these herbs goes into our body. And with that, the one I said about, he went to America and we had a problem. And when they hit the place, he couldn't fight again. You know, so it's good that after our assessment, after bouts, I think the managers should go and see the doctor. With their boss, whether they are strong, whether they want to fight, because our body is not iron. Even iron can cut an iron. So you go and take care, examine yourself. When you become number 15 and you defend it 1, 2, 3, you'll be in the top 10. And when you are lucky and the champion is there, when it's mandatory for the champion, he might apply for voluntary. So he might pick you. When he goes through, as he said, you see, oh, this guy, his record is no good. So let me pick him. Then he goes to pick the number 10, who is maybe a Ghanaian. And one coach can make the difference, like Azuma when he fought Sanchez. Though Sanchez beat him, and he exerted himself and had a chance to fight another day to go and win the world title. So it's good for boxers, WBO. Not that I'm trying to undermine other organization, you know. And it's good because it won't take time, it won't take much money to get your boxer to the world. So it's always good to apply. And the most thing is that I can see since I took over, most of the promoters wait for the title to become vacant. Why is it so? Because when there's a champion there and they approach the champion is going to charge a lot of money. And probably they don't have that money. They don't have sponsors to pay for that money. So they wouldn't go. They wait for all the vacants to be, the titles to be vacant, then they apply. So it's good for all trainers, managers, and also the GBA. Because they are here. We collaborate with them. They sanction the fight. We sanction and they sanction the local fight here. They approve the fight. So if there's a boxer who's going to fight, he's not fit, they shouldn't allow it. Anything can happen in the ring. They shouldn't allow it. You see, I'm saying it. I've been there before. They should be straight. They should let them train. The boxers don't want to train. The trainers don't train them well. And most of the trainers too don't know how to train. I'm saying it bluntly. If they would like, they should challenge me. They don't know how to train. So it's the duty of the GBA to be strict with the trainers, to be strict with the boxers. The promoters are doing their best. Some of the managers are doing well, their best. And they don't get their money back. They fall on the wayside. For instance, now Alberto is going to fight. He's number 1 in the world. He started defending. When I say you should defend, they cry foul. Oh, no, we've been defending. I say you defend. He has become number 1. And he's going to Britain to fight for the international title, WBO. If he wins, then automatically mandatory. He fights the champion. So it's always good for you boxers, managers, trainers especially, to be strict on your boxers. Please don't come with any records, 20 wins, 2 losses, and blah, blah, blah. It's not good for your boxer. It won't get him there. It will never get in there. So I beg you, WB, we're doing well, and I thank you all for your support. Everybody, I can see my friend here, a reporter. I used to argue with him here, he's here, you know. So all of us, let's contribute. Despite you are not there, despite I'm not there, what I know I should help it. What you know, those who have the money to support and do it well. Because ACE promotion, I didn't know about it. Honestly, I'm telling the truth, I didn't know about it. But it was my good friend, Streetwise, Mr. Bediako, who introduced me to that. And I could see that they're doing well. They're doing well, very, very well. Sometimes they might get few sponsors, sometimes they don't get. So would that put them off, not to promote again? They've been promoting. So let's help them. Let doctor help them. Let the GBA help them. Let me help them. Everybody, they dress. Let them help them by talking about it, protect the fights. You know, there's too much hate in our country, both political, both family. I don't know how to put it. There's too much hate and too much big ADs in this country. Please, please, let's come together. Oneness. We'll stand and make the country what it is, especially boxing, to take its back glory and let the world see that we are the best. We are the Mecca of African boxing. So I thank you all. The fight is 10 rounds now, not 12. And I thank everybody. I thank doctor, I thank the lady, I thank GBA and all the pressmen. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. We are live currently on Ace TV, Ace Power Promotions, KK TV, Donna's Corner, Ace Power IG, and then Ace TV YouTube. If you just tuned in, you are actually, or if you're just watching us right now live, we are at the press conference of Ace Power Promotions as against the bout scheduled for June 10th. We are hopeful that you will join us eventually. July 10th, sorry. We're hopeful that you join us eventually for us to make history once again in Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Kaptan Samir. And up again to Mr. Isaac to give us a bout card announcement over the ninth fight format. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you once again. Mr. Captain, thank you. That was some powerful speech. I picked some nuggets, and we believe that with you still around, Ghana boxing will resurrect again. Thank you for that powerful speech. But without much ado, let me just announce some of the undercards that will happen on the night on 10th July at the Bukom Boxing Arena. It's not just going to be the WBO African title, which will be between Oluwaseun and Wolisani. There are other bouts that will happen on the night. And some of these bouts are very, very good ones. As Mr. Kaptan was saying, it's not how many records you're able to ramp up. You just go and take people from the corner and beat all of them, and then you say you have, oh, he has won 20 fights. He has 20 wins, and then he has never lost. He has 15 wins, he has never lost. That's not really what we are looking for. But we have to make sure that the opponents are quality. They are quality opponents. One of my biggest problems with Ghana boxing, one of my frustrations is that most of the managers and promoters and people who are behind boxers who are very, very good do not allow their fighters to fight themselves. It looks like they're always waiting for some fight to be somewhere in London or in the United States or also in Tanzania or in the UK. But the question you need to ask yourself is that when these Ghanaian boxers go there, how do they perform? It is an indictment on all of us in boxing that we take fighters out there and then we realize that round one, they are on the floor sometimes round 2, sometimes 15 seconds and all that. It doesn't say much about us. It's all because our fighters are not challenging themselves, especially the good. For example, there are a lot of good fighters in the featherweight division. If you look at the Ghana featherweight division, solid fighters. From Alfred Lamptey to John Lai to Olido. Why are they not fighting themselves? Why is it that always when they are fighting, you go check the records, you see that they are fighting somebody who is not even in the list? Why is it that they are not meeting themselves? Why can't John Lai, for example, defend his Ghanaian title, Ghana featherweight title, with Alfred Lamptey, for example, or with Olido, for example, so that we can see very, very competitive fights? And I mean, Ghana boxing can resurrect, because if fans are coming into the arena and they are not getting their money worth, how will they come again? They won't come again if they come and see the fight and they see a lot of acting. It's like we are doing movies. It doesn't help us, and it doesn't help boxing. And I hope that our friends in the media can touch on these things so that we can make amends. But let me move quickly to the other cards on the night. We have Robert the Stopper Quay. Robert Quay is a very, 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 very good boxer. And he will be on the bout. He will be fighting Richard Amanfu on the night. It is a 10-round super lightweight contest between the two of them. On the night, we also have Daniel Losai Seduku, who will be fighting Benjamin Ankra, old soldier, Congo soldier, sorry. A lot of you know him. He's a very, very, very good boxer. We also have Ace Power Saini Olido, who will be fighting Mustafa Apia. Let me put it on record. Actually, this is not the card we wanted for Holy. We actually wanted a very, very competitive bout. We don't want any, as I am criticizing here, I don't want other people to criticize me. So we wanted a very, 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 very competitive bout. Unfortunately, we have done everything we could. And Lord is laughing, because I've been working with Lord a lot on that. And we have done everything we could, and we couldn't get any of the first 4 boxers who are very, very good in that featherweight division. Either their managers don't want them to fight, or they are not ready to fight, so it's difficult. And in that instance, usually the only option you have is to bring somebody from elsewhere. And if you bring somebody from elsewhere, of course, you increase your budget. You have to have a lot of budget to do that. So our people in the game should help us help ourselves. We need to make sure that our bouts are competitive. Don't worry if your boxer loses. The fact that your boxer has lost doesn't mean he can't still go on to win. There are boxers in this world who have lost, sometimes even twice, and they still are able to go on to become world champions. It doesn't change anything. The thing is that you need to be able to give your boxer a lot of competition, so that if you take him everywhere, he won't disgrace you. If you go, you don't give him any competition, and fight that he's having, it's like he's doing sparring in the gym. You take him elsewhere, and then you realize that 1, 1, 2, he can't stand punches from. If you go meet the Mexicans and the Spanish, and you can't stand their punches. Anyway, so Holy will be fighting Mustafa Apia. Mustafa Apia will give him a lot of challenge on the night. And then we have the national super flyweight title bout, which will happen on the night. It will be between Mohamed Fuseni and an opponent which we will announce soon. And then we will have Ahmed Abdallah. Ahmed is Streetwise Promotions, Streetwise Management signee, and he's a light heavyweight boxer. He's a very, very, very good boxer. He's a prospect for the world. He will be fighting there. There is